Okay, today I am going to build a fire ring. So one thing I have already done is I went and collected all the rocks I needed to make a nice round border. And my border is not exactly perfectly round. There's probably a little bit more I could do to it, but I'm going to worry about that after I get the fire pit built. So I've got the car parked right here. I'm going to put the GoPro in the car, and then I'm going to get started. Okay, so for the fire pit, I bought 12 16-inch cinder blocks and 12 caps, or yes, 12 caps. So I think I might have bought too many caps actually, but that's okay. We'll find another place to use them. Okay, so you can see I decided to go one high. It just looks better. Most people sit in low chairs. I think this is going to work out better. Plus, at times I like to make a nice fire with, 4-foot logs, and there's plenty of room now. So anyway, that's how it's going to be done. I'm going to rake out these rocks, and then this gravel over here that I've made is what I'm going to put down in that area, and I think it's going to look really nice. It's not a perfect circle. By no means did I measure it, but that's okay. Nothing in this world is perfect, especially if it's made by man. This is my setup. This is what I used to make all the gravel. The classifier has 1/2-inch holes, simple garden rake, and a flat transfer shovel, and the wheelbarrow. Basically, here's how it works. Take a scoop of the dirt that I've raked up. I'm not going to do a whole load, I'll just show you real quick, but you dump it in there, run it through, there it is, gravel. Works really well. Okay, a quick shot to show the progress on the fire pit area. This is what it's going to look like with the gravel. I'm very pleased with how it's coming along. I have half of the gravel done, and that was 5 wheelbarrow loads, so I just need to make 5 more, and there's plenty of gravel on the property. Okay, here's my finished fire pit. I've been working on this thing on and off for almost a month, but I think that this thing turned out awesome. I lined it with the same boulders that I've been collecting for the driveway, except I used a smaller size. And I've got about 2.5 inches of this gravel in here. And as you can see, there's all kinds of pieces. Red, granite, some pieces of the white, more lime type stone. And it's all basically like 3/4 inch up to just below 2 inch. And the reason why I made the gravel is because it's here on the property. It just had to be sifted out of the dirt. And the only gravel that we can have delivered out here is the red cinder rock. And I wanted something different for the fire pit. Now, I could have rented a trailer from U-Haul in Flagstaff, and I could have gone to a gravel pit, bought the gravel, and made 2 trips to get this much. And that would have cost me hundreds of dollars, including gas. And I wanted something that I could honestly say came from the property. I didn't want to go get some gravel that was dug up from some other far off place. I really wanted to do it with everything made here. As you can see, I just got regular cinder blocks, and I put a cinder block cap on each one. There's 12, which makes a 4-foot circle. And what I did is I put all of these large rocks, if you can see the large volcanic cinder rocks, these all came in my first 4 loads, actually 5 loads of gravel that I bought, the 2 to 4 inch. And of course, magically, giant chunks like this came in there too. So basically I had maybe 40 or 50 of these chunks, and these are the ones that I picked out because they represent pretty close to one of each type of lava that came out during the eruption that happened up at Sunset Crater 2 million years ago. So this is a nice chunk of reddish brown with medium-sized air holes. This is a chunk of reddish brown that is more dense with smaller air holes. Straight up purple. More of a brown, lightweight, lots of air holes. A chunk of black, very porous, lots of air holes. This is the coolest one. It's a chunk of very, very dense lava that has almost no air holes, and it's actually very heavy. Another chunk of reddish black, kind of a dark purple. This stuff kind of comes out more wavy. It's heavy, has very, very small, dense air holes in it. Another chunk of purple that's a little more lightweight than the other one. This one is kind of a purplish black, very small air holes, heavy. This one is the one that I like to call granite. It's very close to what feels like a granite. There's Very, very, very small air holes in it, almost none, and it's quite heavy. And then a chunk of dense brown, small air holes. And you can see all the other small rocks. I collected these as I was sifting the dirt. Some of them have some quartz in it, combination of, looks like quartz, granite, and sandstone, hardened sandstone, or petrified sandstone. Here'd be a good example of the petrified sandstone, which is actually very common here in Arizona. But I thought this would be something cool to look at while we're burning a fire. I'm going to put, here, I'll give a shot from over here. I'm going to cut a bunch of logs. Hopefully it'll be around 12 inches wide. And those are going to be like end tables. I'll put maybe 5 or 6 of them out here. That way people have a place to set their drinks. And then somewhere over in here, I'm going to put an area for chopping wood, and I'll put a big stump. Maybe right next to that is where I'll put the area where the logs to be chopped up are going to sit. Right here, next to the fire ring area, I'm going to put all of the chopped logs that are ready to burn. And the wind pretty consistently comes from the direction of the shipping container straight this way. So I won't stack any wood over here. In the afternoon, that tree right there provides shade over this entire area, which is why I chose this spot. Plus, I wanted to choose a spot that was far away from the RV and downwind so that I wouldn't have to worry about the smoke. Sue does not like campfire smoke. I know there's a number of ways to make fire rings. I've seen all types. I watched a lot of videos on YouTube. There's a lot of ways of doing it. Yes, you can dig air venturi holes. You can turn bricks on their side. You can stack the bricks up higher than that. I kind of wanted something that resembles more of a campfire. Most of the time when you stack rocks around a campfire, they're less than 8 or 9 inches tall. This gives me about 12.5 inches all the way around as far as height goes, which is perfect. You can still lean in there and get plenty of warmth. Technically, you could even throw your feet up on those bricks with a smaller fire and keep your feet warm. I just think it is a real nice, simple fire ring. Well, I say simple after I spent almost a month. It took a long time to make the gravel, I won't lie. There's, let me think. I think there's 18 wheelbarrow loads in there, and each wheelbarrow load took me about 3 hours to make. So I had a little bit of time invested, but it's good hard work. It's helped me to get into pretty good shape lately, and like I said, it's one of a kind. There's nowhere else I can buy this exact gravel. There's stuff you can get that's very similar, but you can't buy this exact stuff. You can only get it here. And as you can see, it's everywhere here on the property. What I'll do is I'll walk you over to an area where I had been making some, just to show you what the area looks like after I'm done. This is a pile. That's what went through the sifter. But in the areas where there's more of the gravel on the ground, you can see over in here, it's actually quite thick. There's a lot of gravel in this dirt. This was a big anthill in the middle that had been abandoned, and I dug the area up. Now I may come back and spread this out a little bit more, but really it doesn't matter. The plants will grow back. There's lots of spots around here where the cows dig rocks up because they're going for the lime and calcium stone here, and I think there might be a little bit of salt on it, and they dig it up and make a big mess. But you can see by just looking around that there is gravel everywhere. There is, I mean, just tons and tons and tons of this gravel on my property. And it was all free. It just took a little bit of work. And you know, honestly, there's nothing wrong with hard work. These days, people have gotten quite soft and are afraid of doing hard work. But as humans, we were made for doing hard work. You know, back in the 1800s, people would walk 6, 10, 20 miles a day to go back and forth from town to their farms and things like this. And today, most people are afraid of walking a couple hundred yards. But I'm not. I'm not afraid of doing some hard work too. And I think it turned out great. And you can see there's more of the petrified sandstone. It's all over. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with the way it turned out.